what I'm doing, and that when I feel stressed, I actually do stop. I allow myself to stop and actually go inside and calm down and meditate if I need to, pray if I need to, just get grounding again, focus on what I need to do, and continue to move forward. I think that's probably the biggest challenge, or the biggest growth that I have had to overcome, and I'm still overcoming, like, every day.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good. I didn't even think about the transition of how organized corporate America is, and creating the life that you desire. It has some type of organization to it, but corporate America is just so organized from day to day. You kind of know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is a total difference. I didn't even think about that until now. Yeah. All right. So any advice to anyone that is interested in becoming an expat, or just thinking about just branching out from their normal way of life?
I say do it. Like, obviously weigh up your risks. You know, I'm not saying abandon your family, abandon your children, and just, you know, go off. But definitely, it's underrated how much you will grow along the journey. I think people think they need to be there already to be able to take that step, not realizing that taking the step will get you there. So I don't have a clear idea of what the next 5 years looks like. Like, I know that I want to build my business, but there always has to be a degree of surrender. And people who are too scared to do that, you might have people around you that are too scared to do that. They will tell you, they will put their fears onto you and say, well, how can you do that? How do you know what's going to happen? But I say, save up your money. So save up as much money as you can, and then take a trip. If you can take an extended vacation, because you don't want to come into this in holiday mode, because then you'll just spend all your money at the best restaurants. So you actually want to take an extended vacation and get a feel for what it would look like. If you can work your job remotely, like, one of the better things to come out of the pandemic is now working remotely is fairly normal. Then look at a way to do that so that you have financial support while you're traveling. But I generally say, find a way to do it, even if it's only a short-term thing, because it will open your eyes. Like, I can say now, even if this all ended tomorrow and I had to go back to the UK, back to London, and get an office job, my vision has opened up so much that I wouldn't be there for long, because I just have so much more belief in what I can do as a person, that living a life that I don't love isn't an option anymore. Because it's just like, I know that if I apply myself, I can get to where I need to get to. And I can do it in the sunshine or on the beach too, you know?
I love that. Yeah, I was, let me see. There was one question. Have you traveled back to the UK after traveling abroad?
Not on this trip, no. Okay.
So, well, let me ask you this question. When you traveled back to the UK, because in your last sentence, or in the last phrase, you just stated that if you had to return back to the UK and get an office job, you wouldn't be there for long. Is there a reason why UK right now is just not an option for you to live there, to be there?
Yeah, I would generally say, so when I first decided to go on the travel program, it was because the lifestyle in London for me wasn't, I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying the grind. London is an amazing city, but it's very culturally diverse. There's so much to do. There's so many different people to meet. But when you are working in the city, it's also very, very tiring. Half of the year, I wouldn't even say half of the year, like 90% of the year is cold. Like we get a little bit of summer, but like most of the year it is cold and grey and rainy. And I think when I was younger, I thought I wanted to work in the city and I thought I wanted to live in a big city my whole life. But as I've become older, I appreciate being able to be outside in nature, being in the sunshine, being on the beach. Like these are things that I love. And whereas before I would have looked at it in terms of, I can take a vacation and go and do that. It's like, yeah, you can take a vacation, but why not make it more part of your lifestyle? If it's something that you love, why do you make it only such a small percentage of your life? Because you don't know how long you can do something for. So if you have the opportunity to do something, then I say go ahead and do it. And yeah, so I just feel like I wasn't really enjoying London anymore. I've lived in London my whole life. And then on top of that, I think the UK has like, I mean, you would have seen all of this Meghan and Harry stuff. Like we have the monarchy, which for me, as a descendant of the African diaspora and as a descendant of enslaved Africans from the Caribbean, I really struggled and was starting to struggle with living in the UK because the UK like designed slavery. And when you're working in the city of London, you're literally walking on the streets, walking past the buildings where like this stuff was masterminded and where all of the wealth that came from the slave trade was invested into. And you're seeing it every day and you're part of it. And for me, I had a real dissonance with that. And I was having a lot of friction. And the older I've got, the more I'm like, but I'm literally walking on the streets that are like the blood of my ancestors. And people don't recognize that. You have to literally argue. Like it's racism, I get the feeling in the UK and in the US is slightly different. I feel in the UK, people will spend more time just telling you that racism doesn't exist. And anytime you say the word racism, people will get on the defense with actually not understanding what does racism look like in the 21st century, because it doesn't look like you walking around saying, I hate Black people. It's more of a systemized thing where Black voices are suppressed, Black opportunities aren't there. And I just couldn't live in this world where literally like I'm fighting to get my voice heard. And you're always at the bottom of the ladder. Like I just wasn't enjoying it. So there's lots of things about London that for me, I think I struggled to see myself settling down there long term, just because of the history of the place. It's a bit off.
Yeah, no, that's so good that you shared that because I am not knowledgeable of until now. I'm starting to speak with more Black people that are not from the States, and clearly we have a systematic racism system that is set up and completely runs on itself. But it's good to know, not good to know, it's refreshing to know that when I see another person that is a black person coming from the UK, the experience sounds like it's similar. It sounds like you're through the same thing that I went through. We're just coming from two different parts of the world, but the experience is the same. And that is something that I was not quite aware of until actually becoming an expat. Actually, that is something, I did not know that. Yeah, so
that's the thing, when you travel and you speak to people, and this is another thing, particularly when it comes to the African diaspora, like we have so much in common that we just don't know. And if we were to just have conversations like this and have more shared experiences, or realize that we have more shared experience, there'd be like a stronger sense of community that I think is really powerful for us to move forward with. So traveling also gives you that benefit of meeting other people who are like you, but different to you. But we all have different ways of approaching solutions too, which is refreshing to have those conversations.
Yeah, it is. It's very refreshing. Okay, so how can people find you? Give me the websites. I'm also going to put So you don't have to spell anything out. Just tell them how they follow you, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you have out there. Let us know.
Yeah, so I'm launching my business at the moment. So the website's up and running. Is Happy Chrysalis. So happy is spelled HAPI. So you said not to spell, but is happychrysalis.com, and that will have, that's a hub for everything that I'm building around the intuition coaching, meditation, yoga. All of that stuff is in one place. I'm on Instagram as well and Facebook, and all of the handles are just Happy Chrysalis. So that is,
yeah. So I'll have all of that in the link below, also floating around right here. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me. It blessed my life, so I know that it's going to bless other people's life. I do want to ask you, do you have any words of wisdom that you would just like to leave with our viewers?
Oh, words of wisdom. I would just say, like, you only have one life. Like, don't waste it. And you don't know, things can change in your life at any time. And I'd say for that reason, when you have opportunities, take them, because you don't want to live in a place of regret. So I would say, yeah, if you're thinking about traveling, find your way to get on the plane. If you're thinking about launching your business, find your way to do that, because if it's in your heart, it's something that will bring you joy eventually in some kind of way. So I just encourage people, while you can, follow your dreams.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Helen, for speaking with me.
Thank you.
So y'all be sure to follow Expats.living. Check us out on YouTube as well. If you guys want to have an interview, you're an expat living somewhere around the world, please send an email to livingexpats@gmail.com, and I will link up with you and schedule an interview. Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is great work you're doing as well, like just to get these stories out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been enriching to my life, like seriously.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so